Yesterday, the world marked the day to create awareness about the effects of FGM on women and girls, especially in middle-income and poor countries. But despite the efforts by governments criminalizing and creating legislation with punitive consequences, many young girls still undergo the cart and forced into marriage, a practice that continues to alter their lives and limit their dreams. And so many more champions have come out to speak for the voiceless young girls held hostage by retrogressive tradition. This is the story of one such woman from West Pokot who spends most of her time fighting for the young girls from her community. Leila Mohammed tells us more.
In a village on the edge of a map in West Pokot, age-old practices burgeon. Passed on from generations and untouched by the passage of time. But as the women here, young and old, hone their traditional skills in food preparation, many other cultural practices thrive on, unspoken and undisturbed by time and modernity.
My favorite month was December, because December was full of events and celebrations, Christmas and others that included FGM celebrations in my village. We used to follow up girls, celebrate with them as they got circumcised. So it just used to be part of the events that were going on in December. And my future was full of uncertainties. I didn't know what I would be in future.
Then we have the vestigial.
But I really admired to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. There were so many issues that affecting girls that would not achieve their dreams. I used to see girls in the neighborhood that would go up to class 6 and drop out.
For this community, female circumcision is a crucial rite of passage from childhood into womanhood. A practice that to the outside world is still considered brutal, but that to them is still hallowed. For these young ones, the blood still dripping from the blades is considered a sign of pride. They have boldly endured the pain and are ready to step into the next stage of their lives. The songs from the older women, who too have been on the same path, nudge them on. Gently, the elder lady with the blade puts their legs together to shield them from the flies attracted to the blood oozing from the wound between their legs. The skins over their heads cover them from the public. They will remain hidden from the community for a month, but with the suitors waiting in the wings. These girls often don't hear from their families or community about the grim consequences of genital cutting. These are incalculable in the worst case scenario, ranging from severe internal bleeding, pain during intercourse to cysts, complicated infections and infertility. Sometimes circumcision can lead to childbirth complications and an increased risk of stillbirths. For Teresa Cheptor, school was her way out. She did not have to endure the grueling practice, and now she hopes to pass on some of that wisdom about the dangers of the cut and the importance of school to the younger generations of girls who have been targeted for the cut and forced into early marriage and to a community still steeped in tradition.
From the teachings I received from World Vision, including mentorship programs, ARP, and teachings that were targeting parents, I was able to escape FGM because then my parents they were aware of the effects of FGM and they supported me throughout my decision.
Kama kimila, ni lazima msichana apitie tohara ndiposa aolewe. Hiyo ndio challenges mingi tuko naye hapa Morbos. Ni lazima mtoto msichana apitie ndiposa atambulike ya kwamba amekuwa mwanamke.
Through mentorship, the young girls pick up crucial skills that help them stay in school.
I've also learned a lot of things, like how to take care of myself. Like I know how to to protect myself against early pregnancies, and life skills. I've learned how to relate with others, how to manage my emotions.
The mentorship program have helped me to escape many dangerous and outdated cultural practices like FGM. Now when I was in mentorship program, I stayed there for almost 6 months, whereby it's helped me so much not to be involved in early marriages.
Kwanza unaweza kubreak your heart, ya pili unaweza kosa kwa.
Through partnerships with international organizations like the World Vision, Cheptoo's Halab Foundation seeks to enable girls from the community make a life for themselves and use their skills to improve the community around them.
So the other approaches that we use are things like children's clubs, where we approach schools and make sure that we create children's clubs in those schools, where children are sensitized on their rights so that they know what they should and should not accept. And then we go beyond that to also create what we call alternative rites of passage, so that even those girls that don't go through a cultural circumcision also are trained in other skills that they can develop to prepare them for womanhood and to prepare them for growth.
Na hakuna Mpokot mwenye anaoa msichana kama hajatahiriwa, ni lazima atahiriwe. Na ujue anapotahiriwa na aoleke, masomo imepotea, hakuna kusoma tena, maana yeye pia anajisikia amekuwa mama. Shule tena hataki mtu kumuongelesha mambo ya shule, anaona yeye ni amekuwa kama mama mwingine.
We also equip them with tools that they need to know, so that if they are in a situation where they feel that they've been treated inappropriately, or there are plans by their parents or caregivers to give them up for child marriage, they know where to go to report, and in that way protect themselves. They know about the child helpline 116.
Nancy Tisai iko hai kwa sababu watoto wamekaa nyumbani kwa hiyo mwezi 8. Sasa hata ukienda shule unapata mtoto ako darasa ni mjamzito.
Vestigial winged male.
At the St. Elizabeth School in Morpus, the teachers have taken on extra responsibility of equipping the girls with much needed life skills.
On the X, and then this one is. These girls were brave enough to say no to FGM, and they sought refuge in the Morpus Primary School, and the head teacher Morpus Primary was kind enough to host them. We have many girls out there in the Pokot community right now who have nowhere to go to, and they do not know about rescue centers that are there that can help them. And the community itself is so harsh to a girl, in that by the time the girl is around 8 years, 9 years, from 8 years she will be encouraged and told, you see, the other girls have gone through FGM, and therefore next year you should be the one ready to go through FGM. And they don't know that it is a bait. The girls are innocent, they are too naive, and they don't know that that is a bait whereby after FGM they are now forced into early marriages.
Such institutions are a lifeline for young girls who have escaped the cut and from being cruelly jolted into early parenthood.
Parents also who do not want the girl child to continue with the education frustrates this girl, does not pay the fees on time, does not provide all the basic needs, and when this girl is being sent home for school fees, the parent says, I don't have school fees, you can stay at home. For instance, this year, this time after COVID, we have reopened. Some of the girls did not come on time because they lack the basic need. The parents are not sending them. I had to call on the parents and ask why the girl is not at school. And you find the girl says, my parent has not given me fare, transport to come to school. I had to send the transport for that girl.
To help the girls achieve higher education, the school partners with local and international organizations to enable a smooth transition from basic education.
Immediately after Form 4, the parent will be like, you are done with basic education. What next? In fact, if I take you to high school, to university, you are going to benefit the other family. You need to get and move on. You need to be circumcised if the girl is not circumcised, and therefore it will take the strength of that girl and also the willingness of that girl to say no to FGM. But you find that some girls might go through a lot of pressure until they get into early marriage or to get married immediately after Form 4. So what we thought of is, can we have the girls through a mentorship program, which is 6 months.
At centers like this one, they learn skills like beadwork, where they make beautiful jewelry for sale to both locals and visitors. It's a centuries-old craft passed on from generations. Here, they also learn IT skills that also enable them access higher education from their homes. They are also taught modern farming skills that they will depend on to earn a living once they leave school.
Mentorship program has impacted greatly in this county in terms of producing girls who are independent, girls who are sober-minded, girls who inspire generations of this county. And I am happy to report that more than 700 girls have gone through this program, and they are serving in different capacities in this country, and they act as role models to many girls.
Teresa spends most mornings with the girls before they begin their individual classes, encouraging them to share their fears and hopes. Many here say that they sometimes feel the pressure of the stigma for abandoning tradition.
It's my wish for you, and hope to meet you somewhere someday in a better place. God has given me an opportunity to be a mouthpiece, to be a voice for the voiceless, for the rejected, and for the abandoned. And for that, I do that through community teachings. I take my time to talk to girls, to talk to women, to talk to men. To talk to the whole community, to encourage them, to give girls an opportunity to achieve their dreams.
Teresa hopes to still be the instrument of change for a community that desperately needs it.
You are the role models of this society, and I want to encourage you girls that as you go out there, you get out of this mentorship program, go out as very bold girls, as very sober-minded girls, as very independent ladies that are going to change the face of the society and the women in this community.
Linda Mohammed, NTV.